Hey all, so I'm here to tell you about a little experience I had in the healthcare world as of late that frustrates me a good bit. I had my teeth out. I have wisdom teeth. I'm 30 something and I had wisdom teeth still existing and they were causing some issues. I had an infection a couple of weeks ago, went in, had a consult with my original dentist. She referred me to an oral surgeon because she was afraid I might have to have surgery. Fortunately, I did not. There was no sedation involved. I was really nervous about that. Did not have to go through that. Getting it pulled was still not fun. If you've had teeth pulled, you know it hurts, right? There's nothing you can do to avoid that. But I'm going to take a step back and talk about the consultation I had. First of all, I'd gotten an infection with this tooth, went into the dentist. She looked at it and I thought we were going to get it extracted. And she was like, I can't extract it, but you definitely have an infection. Do you want an antibiotic? Well, I had talked to her before Memorial Day, and on the phone I'd scheduled an appointment because I couldn't get in there sooner, and that's when the infection was really bad. I could feel it. I was feverish. I had all these things. Fortunately, I have tools, natural tools that will help me and support my body in beating off an infection, which our bodies are designed to do, for the record, if they're well supported. But so I didn't take that antibiotic. I was already past the difficult part of that infection, and so I didn't feel it was necessary. And she said, yeah, that's, if you feel like you can handle it, then don't, or that you're getting better. If you change your mind, get the antibiotic filled. Well, so I didn't get that filled. Fortunately, like I said, it was already on the mend. When a few weeks later, I went to see this other dentist that she referred me to for a consult, he said, fortunately, you don't have to be sedated. We don't have to do operation. You just are going to get these extracted. It'll be easy. Just a standard procedure, right? And before you leave, here is your prescription to get filled before your surgery. Now, I hadn't even scheduled surgery. This was a consultation. I could have been shopping around. I could have had other consultations on the calendar, whatever. So and maybe people don't do that with dentists commonly, but I did. I actually called several people on the phone to see what I was going to have to pay for these processes. Well, anyway, so he gave me a prescription for 3 different medications. One was an opioid pain medication. If you're not rolling your eyes already, I hope you do, because I'm not against using medication, but I think there are alternatives that are much safer. And having witnessed a lot of people going down the rabbit trail with the opioids, I'm very, very wary, and I wish more people were. But anyway, okay, the second thing was an antibiotic. I don't know if I already mentioned they're overused. We just need to be more careful. And then the third thing was a nausea medication for the first 2 medications that would make me sick. And I'm sure they would have, because I am a very tender stomached person, I guess is the right word. Anyway, so he wrote me this prescription. I didn't even have my procedure on the schedule, and I walked out the door. And I could have walked out the door without even scheduling something, but I already had that prescription. So that already to me is some red flags. Well, I went back to this dentist and he did a good job. He extracted it. I get there. Well, before actually I had said, so would there be an issue if I didn't take this antibiotic? Because I'd had a tooth extracted several months before and didn't take an antibiotic. And he said, oh no, it just decreases your chance from 2% to 1% of getting infection. And I'm like, a 2% chance to a 1% chance? I'm sorry, but I don't feel like that's enough cause, or, it's just not something we actually need. And so I think just being aware that they're writing these prescriptions, whether it's necessary or not, and us kind of taking control of, okay, well, he gave me this tool, but do I really need to use it? Because it's just such a blanket treatment, right? It's just such a a systematic treatment of people, instead of looking individually at folks and saying, oh, you're probably predisposed to infection, or you're, I don't know what the case would be that it would be appropriate for somebody to want to go from a 2% chance to a 1% chance, but it's just not. Taking an antibiotic comes with risks, and there was no disclaimer. I didn't have to sign anything about what risks I would be taking on by taking those medications. There was no pamphlet. There was nothing, no information given to me about the medications that were prescribed. So then, of course, we got the opioid on the list, which, and so when I went back in to have my teeth removed, I got to talking to the nurse, and she said, okay, so you have your prescriptions. Did you get those filled? I said, yeah, no, I'm not taking that. She's like, not a big deal. It's well known that ibuprofen and Tylenol are as effective pain relievers as any opioid. So you can just use some Tylenol or some ibuprofen. So Fortunately for me, I have all kinds of herbals and oils that helped me with my blood pressure because it was a little high, and nervousness and all of those things throughout the procedure. And I was just oiling myself up in the chair and then oiling myself afterwards. And clove is amazing. It's actually something dentists still recommend for as a natural analgesic for the area. And then on the jawline, I use lavender and I use deep blue, and it helps so much with the swelling and with the pain. And I did end up using ibuprofen. I took 3 total ibuprofen over the course of the next 2.5 days. And that was one I took before bed. And then the next day in the afternoon, my mouth just started to get tired. And so I took another one. And then I think the third day, maybe, I don't even remember. But so that was 600 milligrams total of ibuprofen that I took. And then, of course, I use the oils a lot throughout. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm pretty pain tolerant. I've had 4 babies. I'm not a wimp, but I'm also not, Superman or Superwoman either. So I think that I just wanted to encourage you all to sort of trust your bodies enough to not rely 100% on everything that a doctor prescribes you. Just take it with some questions. Ask some questions, try to understand where they're coming from in terms of why they're making these prescription recommendations, and then make a call for yourself that's going to be the best answer for you. Do not just take a medication because it's prescribed to you. Really investigate. I avoided taking 3 medications, and not only does that mean I didn't have to pay for them, it means I don't have the side effects that come along with taking those, which could lead to even addiction or worse. It could lead to gut health issues that I have to deal with for years, which I know a lot of and have helped a lot of people recover from the effects of antibiotic medications. Things like psoriasis and eczema and digestive struggles, all kinds, you name it. And then, of course, the nausea medication I haven't even looked into a lot. I don't know exactly what that was. But I'm just really here to encourage you that, we have natural tools that work. We don't have to take on so much risk when we're getting medical procedures. We need to question more. And we need to be our own advocates. I don't blame that dentist for doing everything wrong. He's just a part of a system, okay? And he is doing what he thinks is right. He's doing what, feels like the best way to help his patients. He was trying to help me. He gave me those prescriptions ahead of time so I could have them ready when I got home. But his goals and my goals are different, and it's just a matter of being a proactive part of your medical care. So without any other details, I just wanted to throw that out to you and help you feel comfortable and confident and able to sort of take care and follow your own gut and your own instinct and your own intuition when it comes to your healthcare. It will make a huge difference in how you feel long term, and could potentially prevent you from dealing with things that, lots of people have to deal with at this point, and it's just really a sad state. So anyway, that's all. Everyone, have a great afternoon. Thanks for stopping by for a listen.